Welcome back to PRO14 Weekly, the weekly show here on BIS Rugby, which looks back at the action over the weekend of the PRO14. We'll look at a certain game, we'll look at match highlights, we'll do some analysis, and we'll round up the rest of the action. The game in focus this week is the Dragons against Connacht, played at Rodney Parade on Friday night. Let's have a look at the highlights, and then we'll round up the rest of the action. If you enjoy this video, subscribe and leave a like on the video. Let's get into it. The Dragons starting the strongest out of the two sides here at Rodney Parade. The Dragons think they have scored early here. The TMO checking to see if it was a good grounding. But on second looks, unfortunately, it looks like he's just short of the line. He stretches and he stretches, but it doesn't look like he's quite going to reach it. It looks like it's going to be denied and taken back for the scrum. Yeah, he hasn't quite reached it. The referee and the TMO coming to the decision of a no try for the Dragons. Attacking line out here for the Dragons. They've got the driving maul going. Richard Hibbard with the ball at the base of the scrum. Hodry Williams marshalling his forwards, urging them to carry on. Referee tells him to release the ball. Plays out to Sam Davis. Sam Davis into Tyler Morgan. It's a lovely line, and he is over for the Dragons. A brilliant team try. Definitely worked on the training ground. It's a brilliant try by the Wales International Centre. What a try for the Dragons. Really well worked. It's been all Dragons for this 18 minutes or so. Lovely pass inside from Sam Davis. Let's have a second look at it. Hodry Williams here out to Sam Davis. Sam Davis, a lovely little pop ball through to Tyler Morgan. What was the Connacht defence doing? I'm not too sure, but that is a brilliant try from the Dragons, and great to see Tyler Morgan scoring once again. Connacht here thinking they have scored. It's from an original driving maul. The ref is just checking to see if the grounding is all good. The ref's decision, on-field decision, was try. He's just double-checking it here with the TMO, but to me, it looks pretty good. The angle is tight, but from what we can tell, we think he's just about crossed here. But the referee wants to have a second look at this. Maybe this angle will show us a little bit better. It's a tough call for the referee and for the TMO, but it looks like the ref has given it. The Connacht are back in this one. Here we go, Connacht with a penalty. Leon Brown penalised at the breakdown for not supporting his body weight. The penalty, Fitzgerald adds the 3 points for Connacht. Connacht take the lead for the first time in this one. The Dragons lose out on their own line out. Ball out wide here, going through the backs. It's a lovely floated ball over the top. Lovely chip over the top as well. Can he gather it? Yes, he can. The winger is going to score. Lovely try from Connacht. Great ball over the top there. Healy getting his try for Connacht here, and Connacht extending their lead over the Dragons. Now this is a big decision. Is it a yellow card? Posh, the Australian former Sevens player, against Hewitt. Hewitt goes up. Posh doesn't really look like he's challenging for this one, in my opinion. What is the referee going to decide? I personally don't think he's in real contention of getting the ball. There's no attempt to get out of the way and to avoid contact with the player. The TMO is checking this. On-field decision at the time was play on, but the TMO urged him to have a look at this. The referee just going through the facts with the TMO, which is something new we are seeing with World Rugby at the minute. Just going through the facts, saying what they've seen. What is the TMO going to decide, and what is the ref going to decide? In my opinion, it should definitely be a yellow. Certainly not a red, but got to be a yellow, this one, I think so. The referee still debating with the TMO on what's going to happen here. Having a second look at it. Hewitt's up for the ball here. Collects it well. Posh coming in. The Australian coming in here. There's no real attempt to catch the ball, and it is a yellow card. Connacht here in the second half, though, starting the strongest, and they do get a try at the start of the second half. And it looks like it's going to be a pretty long evening now. That try coming for Finlay Bealham, who powered over, and Fitzgerald does add the extras to make it 24 points to 7. And Connacht did have a man in the bin on this one. It will be a frustrating evening for the Dragons, knowing that there was a man in the bin and yet they couldn't take advantage of it. They're just checking it here along with the TMO to check if he's reached the line. Sam Davis trying to stop the man from reaching it, but the TMO comes to the decision that he has grounded the ball okay and that he hasn't lost control of the ball while grounding. But the Dragons, they played so well in that first half, in the first 20 minutes or so, but it just seemed as if their mistakes, especially at the line-out, was costing them, as Connacht got so many of their tries through the line-out. But the ref and the TMO just double-checking this one, just to make sure he's grounding it over the line and in full control of the ball at all costs. Here we go, another angle. This is probably the best angle that we'll get. Sam Davies trying to stop him. But Connacht, once again here, that try was given. Powering over. Can they get the try? Yes, they can. Try for Connacht. It's making it 38 points to 7 now. It's the bonus point try as well for Connacht. They are looking pretty comfortable at the minute. Oh, what a ball here. Connacht, lovely break. It's out to the winger, and the winger's going to be under the post. It's another try for Connacht. There we go. Game, set, and match, you feel. Lovely inside ball, lovely original line break, and the support line is fantastic. The Dragons out on their feet at this moment in time, and it looks like it's going to be a pretty comfortable, resounding win for the Irishmen, who win here at Rodney Parade, who win in Wales for the first time since 2017. But can the Dragons finish with a flurry? Hodry Williams, lovely ball out to the winger. The winger, he's going to get there. No, he's not. He's cutting in, and it's great work there. And the Dragons have their try. Finally, they get something from this game, 85 minutes into the game, but they can go knowing that they have created opportunities. It's a lovely try for the Dragons. Basham going over there. Brilliant work once again from Jordan Williams, who has been a bright spark this evening for the Dragons in a pretty dismal performance. But Basham getting a try then. When the Dragons move the ball properly, they show that they can create things. They show that they can get good quality tries. But it's just those lapses in defence, those line-out mistakes, losing possession of the ball in stupid areas and silly mistakes that are costing them.
And certainly not putting in their best performance. Started well, but unfortunately just mistakes. And Connacht's just level, really, their class came through in that one. Connacht will be really happy with that performance. The other results from the weekend, we shall go through them now. So that game, of course, finished Connacht 38, Dragons 14. Out in South Africa, Munster lost against the Cheetahs. The Cheetahs having a fantastic season and really surprising us all. They obviously showed some promise last season, but it seems that with these sides who are missing so many of their players at the World Cup, not many South Africans have been picked from the Cheetahs side, and so the Cheetahs pretty much have a full strength side to pick from. They beat Munster 40 points to 16 on Friday night, while Leinster continued their perfect record so far in this year's competition, beating Edinburgh at home 40 points to 14. The Saturday fixtures was an interesting set of games. Ospreys against Benetton. Ospreys won this one 24 points to 20. But there's a red card in this game and 2 yellow cards as well. So it seems like World Rugby are really hot on these high tackles now. And even at Pro 14 level, they're so hot on it. And Ospreys played pretty well, but managed to get the win 24 points to 20. Big game then between Glasgow and Cardiff Blues up in Scotland. Glasgow bouncing back from that loss against Scarlets. Last week's Pro 14 Weekly was Scarlets against Glasgow. If you haven't seen it, link in the I button, do go check it out. Glasgow beating Cardiff Blues 17 points to 13 in a close match there. Heading back to South Africa now, the Southern Kings struggling once again, losing against Ulster 17 points to 42. They went down. John Cooney getting a try for Ulster out in South Africa. Southern Kings are in for a tough year. And also Zebra are in for a tough year. They lost at Pauka Scarlets 45-10. Scarlets running in 9 tries and Kieran Hardy getting one of them tries. Zebra look like it's going to be a really tough year for them. But what a weekend of Pro 14 it was. Let me know your thoughts on your team's performance. Definitely want to hear your thoughts. Let me know what improvements the Dragons need to do ahead of their next match in 2 weeks. Of course, so no Pro 14 Weekly next week, so no games. But make sure to check out the other videos on the channel. Enjoy the content on the channel. Leave a like on the video and subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.